Welcome back, Top Notch Gang, to another video. And as you can see, we're diving into the final season of Power Book 2 Ghost once again and talking about all the new and returning characters that we're gonna see to make this last season a banger. Now, I went over a lot of these characters and we're gonna redo it again in this video. I'm gonna put it all together, the new and the returning. I'm gonna give you all the clues, evidence, details, and information that showcase that a lot of these characters could potentially be in the final season, based off leaks, reports, interviews, as well as trailers and everything like that, showcasing what's going to take place in this final season. So we're going to talk about potential storylines for each and every one if they were to show up, of course connecting it to all the things we saw at the end of season 3 and how this could affect Tariq, either them being on his side to help him win the war or them being against him. So without further ado, you guys just leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know any other characters you want to see a deep dive into before the final season. But let's go ahead and get right into it. Now let's start off with 2-Bit and get him out the way because we've seen him most recently and I think he easily has the storyline already set up for him to appear in season 4. To get into 2-Bit, he's a soldier. He's been in the streets a long time. He's shown the ability to be loyal, to get his hands dirty, to do what must be done, and to abide by the code of the streets. So I think he's a perfect character to put back in the fold and be an ally for Tariq. Now since Book Ghost started, all he ever did was rob that nigga, take his money consistently. This actually came in handy for Tariq as 2-Bit did save his life when Kane sent Guap after him, and this only just made 2-Bit up the price. And continuously throughout the show we have seen him text Tariq and shit like that trying to get his money, but now as we saw in season 3, he got a letter from Sax that he traded for his car, letting him know what Tasha was, and now we saw at the end of season 3 that everyone is trying to kill Tariq. He got away and they're going to be looking for him. Now I think with Kane, him being out for blood, him been wanting to kill Tariq, and now Drew and Diana tricking him into believing that Tariq was the one who pulled up on Monet, shot her up. He's going to be bloodthirsty. He's going to be on a warpath, and I think he's going to see Tariq's car, or what he think is Tariq's car, now that 2-Bit has it, and he's possibly going to shoot it up. And because of that, he's going to think he killed Tariq and got away. He's going to be letting everyone know. But of course, I think 2-Bit is going to survive. Now with this happening, I think he's going to go back to Noma, the whole crew, everyone that's trying to kill Tariq, and he's going to say what he did. But remember, I think Effie saw that Tariq wasn't in his car when he got her out of jail. So when this takes place and they find out it wasn't Tariq in the car, I think 2-Bit will go back to Tariq wanting revenge, join his side, and help fight against the Hiders, Noma, and the whole organization. And once again, I think we need a character like 2-Bit within the story, a loyal soldier, someone who's been in the game. Everyone's always asking for him to come back. He pops up one episode per season, and I think it was because a lot of people in the comments say he had a relationship with Courtney Kemp. It didn't work out, so she was trying to like blackball him almost. She no longer has anything to do with the show, so I think they could give him more of a consistent role within the storyline. And like I said, it's already set up with him taking Tariq's car. The second character that isn't really confirmed, but there's a lot of speculation and evidence surrounding her coming, and that's Noma's daughter, Anya Convington, that's said to be played by an actor named Sydney Winbush. Now once again, there's a few speculations and evidence around this. First things first, she's on the IMDb site as Anya Convington, as said to have a role soon in Power Book Ghost, but we know IMDb be capping a lot. But also a lot of people saw that a lot of the current cast members, the castmates, started following her on social media, so they thought that was a hint that she possibly did join the show. They got to know her and now they're all cool, but they're waiting to reveal that in a new trailer or when the season is actually out. And also I think it just makes sense from a storyline perspective. We saw Effie give Tariq all the information on Anya Convington and him try to use that to get out of dying at the end of season 3. Of course, Effie betrayed him. Noma said she moved her daughter and everything like that, but Anya Convington is still her weakness, and I think that's what Tariq is gonna try to exploit. That's the only chance he really has to win this war. And I also think it makes sense that they put put her in college on purpose and put her around his age, because now with Lauren leaving at the end of season 3 and with Effie and Diana both betraying him, I think this might possibly look to be his new love interest in the future. Maybe he'll be using her to try to get back at Noma. They eventually fall in love, and that's how the storyline will play out. That's what I personally believe. We have no information on her, if she'll even be a character or anything like that. Like I said, this is a lot of speculation and evidence, and I'm just putting the pieces together based off what we got in season 3. Now, the first definite confirmed character is Michael Ealy. Now, his character is said to be named Don Carter, and he's the new detective in the show. He's kind of filling in or taking the place of Sax after Sax got popped last season. And his character storyline is saying that after losing his wife in a crossfire of a drug-related shooting, he has made it his life's mission to see those responsible brought to justice. Now, we only got a picture of him and Mary J. Blige, or should I say Monet, having a conversation, and we at least know she's gonna be good. She's gonna be back up and running, and we don't really know much else about his story, how she might have been involved, or the Tejadas, or the drugs that they were selling, or anything like that. And he might have a vendetta against them and be trying to bring them down personally. I think since he's the only confirmed character, like we already saw him in the teaser trailer, he's been confirmed for over a year now, that he has to play a vital role or part in this storyline, especially because it's the last season. So introducing a whole entirely new character, he needs to play a big role with everything that's going on. So I do think he'll be a big factor going forward. Next up, we have Elisa-Marie Proctor. Now, a lot of you guys have been mentioning her, and I've been trying to figure out a way or a reason she would be implemented back into the story, because I think she could be more so used in book 4 with Tommy, of course, with Tommy having been the one to take out her dad, Proctor. But also, we do have to remember Tariq was the one who unlocked the door, who left it open so Tommy could get through and get the job done. He took her for ice cream, and he made sure she got to the rest of her family safe. The interesting part about all this is, of course, Elisa-Marie didn't know much about the things her dad was into within the game, how he had to get his hands dirty from time to time, and it wasn't until she overheard a conversation between Proctor and Benny about how he let her mom die, how he told her he was getting married, he made her think she failed the bar exam, couldn't be a lawyer again, and unfortunately caused her to overdose, did not call the police or anything like that. So that's the conversation she overheard. He started to understand the world and life her dad was living in. Now, of course, he tried to take her to Ghost's penthouse, try to hide out when he was testifying against Tommy. Tariq helped out with that, as I just mentioned prior, and she looked at Tariq as a friend. Now, I think her auntie, I believe it was, said something like she knows Tariq isn't innocent or isn't really her friend. He helped set the situation up, and that she shouldn't look at him as a friend. She was able to read him like an open book. So I don't really know if she's an ally or she could be a potential enemy in the future, of course, with her connections to the Italian mafia. Now, the Italian mafia could always come back into play if Tariq needs a new plug, with this whole Noma situation going on. And also, like I said, come back into play with Tommy and book 4. Now, everyone always speaks of crossovers, and if a crossover was to happen, this could be a key way to connect Tommy, Elisa-Marie, and Tariq all back under one umbrella with the Italian mafia, as I just mentioned. But if not, she is older now. She probably has a better understanding of everything that's going on around her, and I think she could be utilized like Junior Valdez. As we just seen in season 3, Junior Valdez popped back up out of nowhere. He wasn't really a relevant character throughout the first 6 seasons of the original Power, and now he popped back up. He's in the FBI and shit like that, and he's gonna become a vital character and vital role in season 4, with him having a hard drive that Sax left for him after he died. So we got to see how he was to utilize that, and I think Elisa-Marie could be used in the same way. Depending on how much time has passed in the Power world, she should be fairly older. I think her actor in real life is like 17, 18 years old, so I see why it's hard to work her into the story unless they fast forward and say a few years past in the Power timeline. But once again, I think she could be implemented like Junior Valdez and have a more key role, more control over what's going on over over the board in the chess game and make moves of her own. As far as we know, her connections to the Italian mafia could be the biggest threat to both Noma, Tariq, and all of the Tejadas. And last but not least, people are gonna be mad if I don't mention Ghost in this video, so we of course gotta talk about him, but I'm not really gonna debate. You guys could decide that down below if you think he's gonna be a hallucination or real or anything like that. But what we do know is Tariq is returning to Club Truth, and he's standing in the exact same spot that Ghost was in his last scene. So people think, of course, the story is gonna come full circle. Tariq possibly could suffer the same fate that we seen Ghost suffer, or he'll finally understand Ghost, why he did all the things he did, and Tariq will be working his way out of the game. Now, with this being the last and final season, and with the actors not really having no clue about this, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these characters or storylines are unfinished and we have even more questions by the end of the show. But who knows, they're always talking spin-offs and theories and everything like that, so they can down the line bring everything back once again. But I will be making a video talking about what I think pushes Tariq out the game once and for all. It's a theory I had since last year, so you guys be on the lookout for that. But I do think this Ghost and Tariq moment is coming full circle with him returning back to the scene of the crime, and he's gonna be feeling all the emotions and stakes of being back at Truth once and for all. Of course, he got to do all the things like get his inheritance back, get the clubs back, everything he lost in Western Holdings, and I think he's gonna get help from people like Rashad Tate, Stern, and RSJ. They're gonna probably play vital roles into making sure he's good, he's straight, as they have a lot of power within the political world and everything like that. So he has a lot to look forward to this season, and we could possibly see Ghost pop back up. If it's a hallucination, it's a hallucination. If he's real, he's real. Once again, you guys could debate that yourselves down below. So overall, that's it for this video. You guys can let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. To be real, all these characters aren't gonna return with this being the last and final season, but it's all a big possibility, and I think the storylines are set in place for each and every single one to happen. So you guys could put your favorite. Who would you more than likely want to see the return more than anyone? I know most of you are gonna say Ghost, so put your second favorite one. I do think that this being the last season creates a lot of interesting things that can happen and take place. I originally thought this season was gonna be 20 episodes, so I was like, okay, maybe they can fit all this in, because that's basically 2 full seasons. But now it's coming out that it's only 10, and it's gonna split 5 and 5, so who knows, they definitely can't work all this into the storyline. So if I had to pick any that they're gonna do, obviously Don Carter is confirmed. I think Anya Convington, and more than likely I think they do squeeze 2-Bit somewhere in the storyline with him taking Tariq's car. You guys can let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Once again, as usual, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.